Hi. For the next 2 weeks, we're going to talk about my area of specialty, which is fresh water. This week, we're discussing surface water. Next week is groundwater. I'm not sure how many of you are aware that the vast majority of water on this planet, the vast majority of water on the planet is in the oceans and is saline. But of the fresh water, the vast majority of that is frozen into the poles and into glaciers. Of the amount that is available for our use that is not frozen, surface water is just a tiny, tiny percent. I was very surprised about that. Probably 97% of the available fresh water that's not in frozen form is groundwater, which we will discuss next week. So we're talking about 3% of the liquid water on the planet that you see in streams and lakes and rivers. However, that water serves so many purposes for us, and we really don't treat it with the value that it deserves because no land-based creature can live without fresh water. In the videos, I tried to include something about the Flint water crisis because I thought you might have heard about that, and I wanted to explain to you what that was all about. There is another water contamination issue that is becoming more and more understood, and it's called PFAS, PFAS, for poly or perfluorinated alkyl substances. It's a family of chemicals, of about 6,000 chemicals actually, that were created in the 50s by DuPont and 3M. And they're really miraculous chemicals. They repel water, and other fluids. Teflon has PFAS in it, Gore-Tex, Scotchgard, all of these things have PFAS in them. Also, firefighting foam has PFAS because it smothers the fire. However, they call it a forever chemical because it doesn't break down in the environment. It's formed of a carbon chain of varying lengths that is surrounded by fluorine chemicals, which makes it very, very stable. In order to destroy it, they have to incinerate it at very high temperatures for a very long time, which is pretty hard to do. And it's just everywhere, and it's in a lot of our water. It's been proven through tests to cause a high risk of cancer of varying types and reproductive issues. One of the things that always bothers me with these kinds of toxins is, our current water treatment plants take out some toxins, but they can't take out PFAS because they're just not designed for it. We can buy water treatment systems for our homes that will take out the PFAS, but wildlife can't. Wildlife has to drink the water that we have polluted. The military bases have a lot of PFAS on them, as do airports, mostly because of the firefighting foam. But PFAS is in surface water and in groundwater. The EPA has set a recommended limit of 70 parts per billion for safety. Some states, like New York, are setting much lower rates. 70 is deemed to be fairly high, but PFAS is not regulated. There's just that recommended level, but it's not regulated yet. There are no laws against it. What can you do? You can, I hate to say this, stop buying Gore-Tex or stop washing it, because when you wash it, then those chemicals come out and then they go into the wastewater. And the wastewater treatment plants they can't pull it out because they're not designed for that. And so it goes off into the environment. Also with Teflon, the early Teflon especially, when you're cooking with Teflon, you're eating PFAS. So be careful about your own habits and do some research on PFAS, because I think you're going to be hearing a lot more about it. I did not include it because there are so many other issues. It was hard to decide what to share with you. But I think you'll be hearing a lot more about PFAS, and actually I'm doing a lot of research on that right now myself. I think that I'll stop there. I just want you to think about every drop of water as being something very precious that needs to be protected and treasured. There's something in the water community that we call the WEF, W-E-F, for Water, Energy, Food Nexus. Water touches so many things in our lives that we don't even think about. If you're interested, look at the water content of some of the things that you eat. It's really shocking, especially beef. One of the problems that will be causing future water scarcity is many more humans and many more people having a water intensive lifestyle, especially eating beef, because you get the double whammy with beef. You need water to grow the crops, to feed the beef, and then feed the cows, and then you have to give water to the cows as well. So you got that double whammy. I think it's like 1,500 gallons of water that is required for every pound of beef that you eat. It's maybe more than 1,500, but it's really shocking, the water content in many of the foods and drinks that we eat and drink. So please be conscious of the water that is so precious that we can't live without. And let me know if you have any questions. As always, feel free to come to the office hour at 5 o'clock on Tuesdays via Zoom. And thanks for your attention. Bye.